We'll edit on the back end. Well, welcome. It's Tuesday night, and it is a week that is moving along. I hope you're having a great week so far, and I hope you're accomplishing some of the things that you want to accomplish. And we're going to play some music. So, now what kind of music should we play? Should play all kinds of music, some worship music. Maybe later this week we'll get into some worship music. Um, we'll go back to our '80s compilation and let them jump in. So I randomly picked this. It picked by random. So, but hey, I really want to talk about some different things, and I really like to get some feedback. And well, we want to welcome you here to our conversation. So now, if you don't know about Michael Jackson, I don't know what you don't know about, but you gotta have some fun with it. And when you come up in here, just shout out where you're at, where you're coming from, and maybe there might be something you want to talk about. I'm not really bad. Mike Jackson is bad, but I'm not bad. At least I don't think so. All depends who you ask and what day they ask, right? But yeah. So it's Tuesday night. A lot of good things are happening this week for myself. Hope they're happening for you. My grandson is 6 months old today. And I have a picture. I can't show you yet. I am under tight restrictions and quarantine to put his image or likeness on the internet. But I promise you that I will give you the first shot at looking at this handsome young man that some have told me that have seen it offline that he looks like me. So, hey, he's got a better smile than me. The only thing I claim to have good at is a smile. I can do that. It's the only thing I ever control. That in my hair. I didn't control the fact that it's gray, but it's, hey, I'll take it with you, right? So, but what's going on? We're going to have some fun for the next few minutes and talk. So, hey, if you're in the chat, if you're in the room, hey, let us know where you're at. Something on your mind, something you want to say, a little shout out. Let's do that. And we want to talk. But there's some different things that are going on. You know, it's coming towards the end of October. And I know some people are planning on doing the Halloween thing. Fall's here. Within 30 days, we'll be at Thanksgiving, then Christmas. Wow, right? So a lot of interesting things go on this time of year. A lot of people gathering together. And with everything we've had to deal with over the last couple of years, it's actually pretty exciting to be able to gather with people and be able to fellowship and connect more with people. Even though I may be on this online vehicle called YouTube, it's one way to what? Connect with people. It's not the ultimate way, but it's one way, you know? And so that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing from my thought process. So, but yeah, for good stuff. But yeah, what's going on this week? I know there's a lot going on. I think there's some elections coming up in the next week or two. People are I'm focused on it. Local elections, more local elections, and making some change in life. As a community, we all can help one another by what? We can help each other by simply being good civic neighbors. And um, by the way, I do not own the music. Last one was Michael Jackson, I'm Bad. And this is Pet Shop Boys, Domino Dancing. So you pull it up yourself. It is running a random program of the 80s. And if you're not from the 80s, well, what's wrong with you? Okay, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay. I'm actually from before the 80s. I grew up on this music, so it's cool. Um, but a lot of people are really getting into the politics. I think the one thing I would say about politics is that it's important for you to do your part. And when you do your part, you let things fall where it may. I don't think you can. I think you can influence people, but I don't think you can mandate people. And that's why we are in the freest country in the world. Is because we actually have the opportunity to influence others, right? Not unduly, but righteously, right? So, yeah. So it's pretty good. So yeah, when you come up in here, let us know where you at, where you calling in from, and we'll mix it up a little bit. Don't be shy, and we'll have a chance to talk for a few minutes here. I'm trying out this platform, getting used to it. You might say, wait, this background, are you in your basement? Yeah, I'm actually in my basement, you know, not a man cave. I'm not into the man cave thing. I don't have that time to just serve myself, but do have an office in the basement because of the pandemic. Have an office 10 minutes away, but also at home too. So it's a good opportunity to kind of do what I got to do different times of the day. So, but yeah. So that's pretty much it there. But hey, basketball season's getting going. The World Series is coming up. The team formerly named the Redskins uh, won this past week. Everyone's complaining about this and that, but I'm not a big complainer about things because ultimately you can change what you want to change about yourself, and the number one thing you can change, you can literally change your future. You can change your future and change your life, you know? And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And if you do that, um, you can make all the difference in your generations to come, right? So, uh, so you hear that? That's the Pet Shop Boys, right? Yeah. Pet Shop Boys. I've never bought one of their albums. They didn't appeal to me that way. But I was more of a Duran Duran guy. Michael Jackson, of course. But yeah, different people like that, right? So maybe we're gonna have a couple people jump in here um, for the next few minutes. Hey, there's a lot of conversations going on about relationships, men. I have some different thoughts and views on some of these things, and I'm going to pronounce those better as I get better at this vehicle. I'm going to pronounce those things and share those things much more directly because I want to be able to communicate some things and get feedback and start dialogues because I think a lot of times we don't have enough dialogue. You know, I think there's no ideal or restrictions on thought. I don't believe there should be. Um, I think you shouldn't threaten people. I don't think you should threaten violence, things like that. Personally, as a believer in Jesus Christ, that's not where I come from. But at the same point, I don't think people's ideals and thoughts they should be let out in the light of the air, and therefore, guess what? What we have discovered over human histories, great ideals overcome bad, destructive ideals over time. Sometimes in the moment, destructive ideals have their day, but they never win the battle. So that's why we're still here. And so if we continue this quest of open dialogue, conversations in different areas and overall, and people have the opportunity to speak without being canceled or told to be put in a corner, right speak, that speak, you know what? We'll grow as a society, not only here in the United States, but worldwide. And we have to give our efforts time to compound. Think about this: if we have a history, a biblical history, if you ascribe to that, of 6,000 years, even if from of Christ 2,000 plus years now, what's 2 years, a year, 5, 10? It's very minuscule. So a lot of times we want to see change affected now. And there are changes that need to be affected now because they literally cost people's lives every day, every year. But then there are some ideals that take time to, I wouldn't say evolve, but more like they take time to overcome. Because sometimes ideals look the same, but over time, they separate, right? And freedom is one of those ideals. You know, I heard Joe Rogan say this one time. He said, the American experiment, out of all of history, now I don't know where he got it, but I just heard him say it. Out of all the history, the American experiment over 240 years, where people can govern themselves without a monarch or a dictator ruling them, has never happened. So we're in a, and think about this, 2,000 years, 200 years, that's really only 10%. So we still have to give this thing time. And one of the things I love about the Constitution, it says to form a more perfect union. It didn't mean that the Constitution was perfect at the time it was conceived. But over time, through ideals, the battle of ideals, not the battle of war, and we have had some wars, the battle of ideals wins out. And we have to focus on ideals, listening to one another's, because sometimes our best ideals come from the criticism of our what we conceive our enemy or our opposition. There's something that we may tweak or adjust or quicken or slow down just because our enemy or our adversary or our opposition, what we perceive of those people, they're saying something to us. And because of that, we make our ideals better. We refine them. And guess what? We have a better society when put into motion. So it sounds very philosophical, but it works out. It works out in our kids. Works out with my, I learned early on in having 3 girls, didn't have, well, I just tried to, instead of me trying to figure out what my parents, how to be a parent, like reading books and stuff. And I never, ever listened to other people who had kids in the same age bracket as me. Okay. I always wanted to listen to someone who was farther down the road, right? who had kids, who had done something with themselves, gotten themselves educated, out doing something, being productive. I said, tell me what you did, or I would listen to what they did. Why? Because I'm not interested in experimenting with my kids. So a lot of things I learned early on was on how to talk to my kids and or deal with my kids. And I didn't do it perfect nearly at all. I mean, God help me. Right? God help them. But I try to lean on what did my parents do, particularly what did my father do, you know? And that's where I leaned when I was in attempts of raising our children. My youngest one is now, within the next year or so, be going maybe off to school, venturing out, things like that. One already finished school, helped us have our grandson, and then she's doing her thing. And then my next one, she's going through school. And so they're learning. They're learning. Everything's a process. Being a parent is a process. Being a man, being married is a process. Right? So, yeah. But it's a process. So, yeah, it's a process. So, but hey, we got to celebrate one another. We got to celebrate one. So, what's the good word all the way around? What is the good word? So, I actually set up some things, some travel over the next couple months. Pretty excited about those travels. And because everything is opportunity. And I'm excited about even doing this on a consistent basis. If you go back, you'll see I started something on a couple days ago, and then 2 days, and we're here tonight. And guess what? We're gonna have some conversations as I get used to this and engage you all more. Guess what? Gonna be some very interesting conversations. One of the things I will definitely say is I will never come from the point of view that I know it all. I can tell you that. What I've learned is I am learning constantly. I love to learn constantly. By the way, can you hear my guy Billie Jean over here? My girls cannot be watching this because they cringe anytime I put a little move on. But Mike Jackson is the man, okay? And I do not own his music, okay? So fair use, right? But yeah, so I've never come from that point of view because if I'm in the process of learning and I love wisdom. I love, someone said, what's the shortcut? The shortcut is wisdom. Find someone I have some great wisdom partners in my life. And I can name 5 people, won't do it now because some of them I actually might have here on a live stream with us and having conversations of wisdom. But I've heard some guys on YouTube lately, and they're like talking about giving marriage advice. And I find it so amazing. Being married over 20 years. Do I have some advice? I don't know if I have advice, but I do have some experiences. And maybe through conversations, many of you all have some experiences that collectively that we can share and that people can pull, including me, can pull some what? Wisdom out of your experiences. That's what this is all about. Pulling wisdom, insights, you know. That is a good thing, right? So the conversation allows for experiences to be shared, and it allows for the individual, you or me, to then go, you know what? I can relate to that. And if you can relate to it, then you can take that piece of something you can relate to, apply it to your life, and then next thing you know, your life is a little bit better. Just imagine, and I think about this for myself, and that's why I love learning, is imagine if you got 1% better every day, what that would look like a year from now. Forget about the year. How about 6 months from now? How about 3 months from now? How about even 30 days? You'll be farther down the road. And guess what? Not only will you be farther down the road, you'll like yourself more. You'll be pursuing the things that you want to succeed in. And I always tell people always say, we always say, who this person is successful, this person. Let me tell you, the person who's successful is a person who sets a goal and reaches that goal, no matter what the goal is. And I would say you probably, if you had set the goal to be talking tonight, this evening, after waking up this morning, that I want to make it to 9 o'clock tonight. Great. You succeeded. You're a success today. There's something you can do every day. And if you start putting little bits of success every day, then you'll start challenging yourself to say, you know what? Oh, I did that before. I want to do something else and be successful. Next thing you know, maybe you're walking a mile or two. Wow. Boom. Maybe then next thing you know, you're doing something else. But you know what? Little bits of just setting a goal and getting a goal, all of a sudden you gain confidence in yourself. And that's the most important thing for you, is to gain confidence in yourself so you can have a better life. Because you will never, ever, 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 never have as much confidence to yourself as you giving confidence to yourself, you know? So you got to give yourself the confidence so you can continue to succeed each and every day. And this is something I learned, you know? So, and we got the great rocker. Can you tell who that is? I do not own this music. Came dancing to my groove. Last night, little angel came pumping on my floor. See, you gotta get into this stuff. And you know what's funny is, a lot of this music I wasn't even into back then, right? But you know what's funny is, you kind of hear it out of your ear, but 30-something plus years later, you're like, wow. It's pretty cool, right? Okay. Maybe you liked it back then. More. But, so, yeah. So we're just jumping in. We're learning a lot about this this thing called live streaming, and we have some thoughts about it. But I figure the more I do this, the better I get at it, and the more I learn, and the more I learn, the more I do, and the more I gain. And I like to gain. I like to achieve. I like to challenge myself. I think I always will be like that. It's very similar to like my dad. I look forward to having him on this live stream. You guys went, hey, all I need you to do is help me. Yeah, help me here. Right? What's some topics you would want to hear from a person who's been around for quite some time? Right? I've grown closer to my father over the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years or more. Just because as I've gone farther down the road, I recognize that, you know what? what the heck did he do to get through? And there's got to be some secrets here, man. And so, so I've been picking his brain, getting little nuggets, asking questions about when he was my age. What were you thinking, Dad, when you were my age and you had what? 5 boys. What were you thinking? I was getting, and the more I have these different kind of conversations, even, even the, how do you say it? Even as more as I have in a conversation, I pick up little things from him. So as we kind of move forward on this, we're going to pick his brain. We're going to get him in here, and you can get in the chat. And maybe even as I learn how to bring people up, where we can add you live video into the conversation, I'll figure that out. Not an IT guy. We won't be able to do all the bells and whistles up front, but we will get to it. We will get to it. So, yeah. See, hey, listen. I mean, do you not, when you listen to this music from when you're younger, and your younger might be the 2010s, your younger might be the 2000s, the 90s. Okay, mine's is the 80s. But it reminds me of the optimism, the enthusiasm, the excitement, right, of going something. And there's something about going through life, things start trying to weigh you down. So I like listening to the music, right? I got some interesting things going on here. So let's see what's coming up. Okay, it's pretty cool. A couple other songs that are coming up, pretty cool. And we'll probably take a couple more and we'll duck out. Because I'm going to jump on another live screen, right? I'm going to jump on another live screen that I want to hear because I'm learning from guys, people in my peer group, right, on how to be better. I love that. I love that. It's cool. Because you know what? We got to have the rhythm of the night. And that's the next song. The rhythm of the night, right? I do not own the music. I think you have to say that or you have to post that somehow. But who remembers the barge? Them boys were pretty. Them some pretty boys. There's some pretty boys. Right. Yeah. I know a place where we can dance all night away underneath the electric stars. Right. Just come with me and we can shake it loose right away. You'll be feeling fine when the music starts. Oh, to the beat of the rhythm of the night. Dance until the morning light. Forget about the words on your mind. Can leave me all behind. To the beat of the rhythm of the night. Oh, the rhythm of the night. Oh, yeah. Look out on the street now. The party's just beginning. The music's playing. A celebration starting under the street. Right. The scene is being set. What else are we going to listen to tonight? All right, I'm gonna get another one in here in a few moments because we got a couple more minutes. We're gonna be here. If you want to shout out where you're at, put where you're at in the chat, and that's cool. So go ahead, put where you're calling in from on the chat, and so. Come join the fun. This ain't no time to be scared. And if there's any topics of conversation, throw them out there. If you like my background, if you like the shirt, you like the color scheme, you think I should get a tan, I need to fix and change my lighting, whatever it is. It's all good. Nothing personal. We're just trying to make this the most appealing kind of a conversation and interaction we can. So, we got someone calling in from Maryland. But that's good. You might be a neighbor. Everyone seemed to be, the barge. They wanted to look like Mike Jackson, but they couldn't look like Mike Jackson. But I guess that's the look, There you go. So we'll switch over to this. I love this song. We'll end up on this song, I think. Yeah. Who can tell what the song is? Can you tell what the song is? It's Rome. B-52s, right? Yeah. Pretty cool, right? I wonder where they're at. I think they broke up in the 90s. They always had some funny videos, right? I thought they had some funny videos. Great. See, the kids now, they grew up on Instagram, Facebook, or I guess maybe YouTube. But we grew up on what? MTV. And if you wanted to know what's going on, first, in the early 80s, you had to go Friday night videos. I think it was at 12:30 at night. Watch Friday night videos, tape them on your Betamax, and then you watch them again, right? See, and then later on when cable came out with MTV cable, then you watched it on MTV. All the songs that came out, right? So. So we're looking to have some fun here. Now I notice people check out the video after I'm gone, and that's cool. The video won't be that long. I'll probably cut it a little bit, but we'll have some fun with this. I'm headed over to another Zoom in a little bit, or a live stream. So we wanted to get this in because we wanted to maybe jump in. Are you listening to what this song really talks about? Rome, if you want to. Go check out that video, Rome. That's what you can kind of do here on YouTube. You can kind of roam, right? So. So we're going to have some good conversations coming up. I'm going to be a little more focused on this and put some topics out there and throw this out there a little bit more advanced. But we're going to roam and we're going to have some fun with it. I hope you guys have a great one. Peace.